Like I was saying in yesterday's video, this is probably the last weekend of all the transfer stuff. Obviously, this is the last weekend of January, and the transfer end window is going to end on Tuesday, I believe. Now, if you want a transfer deadline date, stream maybe on Tuesday, drop a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want another confirmed transfer video tomorrow on Sunday, drop a like on this video. 4,000 likes on this one, and I'll bring it to you. You got literally a few hours before midnight, and I'll bring it to you, I promise. I don't really need to say, if you want one of these rude boys, GetGripped.co.uk in the description down below. Rossi will get you 5% off all your controllers. Now, I want to get straight into the first one because, like I said, we've got loads of players to cover. And I'm only covering, a portion of them today because we've got another episode tomorrow potentially if you want it. So let's get into the first player. Now, we got a player who's actually been, a few clubs have been trying to get him, but one club has finally made it possible. We got Robert Snodgrass. He's actually gone to West Ham. This was transferred from 1 or 2 days ago for £10 million from Hull City. Now, the Scotland international has put pen to paper on a 3.5-year deal, which is pretty decent. And obviously, the Irons fought off competition from Burnley and Middlesbrough for the Scot. Now, this is a really big blow for obviously Hull because let's be honest, he's one of their best players. He's a big talent for them, and they're not doing too well in the league so far. So is that basically them going to get relegated or whatever? A lot of people are saying on Twitter the 29-year-old has 7 goals and 3 assists in 20 Premier League games for Hull this season, which is pretty decent. That's a good record. Now, Snodgrass could now make his West Ham debut in Wednesday's home Premier League clash with Manchester City. Now, this is West Ham's 2nd January signing. Obviously, in a previous episode last week, I talked about Jose Font, who also has gone to West Ham. Now, obviously, they've got Snodgrass as well, so 2 good additions to West Ham this year. They've done pretty well so far, but it's time to get into the second video. This one's not going to be as long an episode today because, like I say, we've got lots of stuff we need to talk about. We got a legend, alright? We got a legend in the game. This guy is funny. He's got a great character to him. We got Patrice Evra, obviously ex-Man United, ex-Juventus and stuff. Now, he has gone to Marseille, and he's turned down lots of moves to other clubs for this move. Now, he's got an 18-month contract at Marseille, taking him to the end of this season and the end of next season. Now, believe it or not, Crystal Palace wanted him, alright? Sam Allardyce wanted him, but he rejected that. He didn't want to come back to the Premier League, and he wanted to be in France. This is from the man himself. Many clubs were interested, but as soon as I heard that Marseille were making an offer, I did not hesitate. Now, also, believe it or not, alright, he's actually been linked with a move to Valencia and a return to Manchester United, which I just thought was never going to happen. In my eyes, that move was never going to happen. But that is right, he has gone back to France, and hopefully he can do well there again. Like I say, he's 35 years of age. This could take him to 36, 37 in his contract or whatever, so hopefully he can do well and still perform, even at his age. Hopefully he can still perform. Now, that could not only be the only, signing Marseille make, because they're obviously interested in Payet, which is featured in lots of transfer episodes on my channel, so maybe that could be another signing. Evra and Payet, double French signing. We'll have to wait and see. Now, we got an insane signing next, right? We got a Premier League beast now, okay? We've got a guy who's coming from the Serie A. We've got Niang, alright? Now, Ultimate Team fans, you're going to love this card. I love this card in FIFA. So, Watford has signed Niang on loan from AC Milan until the end of this season, so literally 6 months. Now, believe it or not, there is an option for them to sign him on a permanent, okay? So, if the Hornets want him, they can say, alright, we'll buy him, alright? At the end of the season, that's there. That's an option. Now, this is Watford's 3rd signing this January transfer window, and I got to be honest, this is a very good and exciting one. The 22-year-old is a big talent, and he could do well in the Premier League. Now, if you look at his 78 striker card in the game, right, which you guys can probably see, 89 pace, 82 dribbling, 74 shooting. I've got to be honest, mate, that is the striker card everyone's going to want. That's a cheap striker Premier League beast now. He's going to be in lots of Ultimate Teams, Premier League teams, basically, for cheap ones. It's just obvious. It's just obviously going to happen. He's got 4-star weak foot and obviously 4-star skill move too, which is insane. He's got high attacking work rate, 6 foot, all round, a good player to have in FIFA. And hopefully a good player to have in, obviously, the Premier League as well. Hopefully he can do well in real life. We're going to see a few informs potentially. Hopefully he does well. Next up, we got another striker beast, right? Now, this guy was very good in FIFA, but now he's, it's a little bit different now. Still a very good striker card, if you want to make a cheap Bundesliga one. But anyway, Adrian Ramos, he was definitely pretty better in his previous FIFAs and stuff. He has now joined Granada on loan. So basically what's happened is Adrian Ramos has completed his loan move to Granada from Borussia Dortmund ahead of joining Chinese Super League club, right, in the summer. So he's going to be at Granada on loan for a few months, and then in the summer he's going to go play in the Chinese Super League, of course, so like a lot of players are doing now. The Colombian international will now feature for the La Liga strugglers Granada for the rest of the season, having been training with the club this week after passing a medical. At the end of the campaign, Ramos will then link up, alright, with the Chinese Super League team for a fee of around 12 million euros. The club are under the same ownership as Granada, which has enabled the loan agreement. I didn't know that. The Chinese club he could be going to, alright, is owned by the same, well, basically the owner owns Granada as well. But yes, this guy was, of course, a very good striker back in the day. Adrian Ramos was presented with a lucrative exclusive offer from China last year. This from the Dortmund sporting director. Now, hopefully he can save Granada from the relegation zone, and I guess after that, off to China, and a good life is on the horizon for him. Last but not least, we've got a guy who's basically, you know, linked up with his former manager. Basically, Joleon Lescott is now at Sunderland, alright? He's linked up with David Moyes once again. Them two have worked together in the past and know a lot about each other. Now, Lescott suffered relegation with Aston Villa last year, so he knows exactly what relegation's about. So if he wants to save Sunderland, mate, he needs to perform, because, you know, can't happen what he did last year. Now, Sunderland got a lot of injury problems in a minute, so Joleon Lescott is going to be a big addition to them, according to Seb Larsson. I believe he was actually a free agent before this. There was no transfer fee or anything. He was a free agent, so he hadn't had a club for a few months now, and obviously, you know, they've just given him a contract, they're giving him wages now, and David Moyes wants him. Hopefully, Joleon Lescott's experience is exactly what Sunderland need to avoid relegation. Hopefully, he can do well. Anyway, guys, this has been 5 confirmed transfers for the January transfer window this week. I have 5 or 6 more I want to do tomorrow's episode. If you guys want to see that, drop a like and a thumbs up down below on this video. Can we get 4,000 likes for midnight tonight? If we can, I'll bring you guys that episode ASAP. I'm out, guys. Has been a pleasure as always. Make sure you subscribe down below. Peace.